Brand new information coming into the newsroom tonight about a trucking company involved in a fatal accident on the Florida Turnpike. You might recall this video here of the driver making an illegal U-turn just before a minivan ran into the side of his truck, killing 3 people. 10 Investigates' Jennifer Titus just went through the inspection report, and Jen, there were quite a few violations.
Well, a trained law enforcement officer does the inspection, and then they submit the report back to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. We got our hands on the report that shows a number of violations from the truck driver to the actual truck involved. In a first look at the post-crash inspection after a deadly crash on a Florida Turnpike, there are multiple violations for both the driver, Harjinder Singh, and the truck owned by White Hawk Carriers. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or FMCSA, revoked their operating authority.
There are multiple moving violations or driver violations there that would be written in that case. Illegal left turn, illegal U-turn.
10 Investigates obtained the inspection records through Blue Wire, which collects crash and inspection data. The company's chief executive officer, Steve Bryan, has been going through trucking data for nearly 2 decades.
Our primary mission is to help identify risk in the trucking industry.
He says the post-crash inspection related to the August crash also shows multiple violations regarding parts and maintenance.
They would be things that run the gamut from tires, brakes, lights.
The company, which owns the truck, has been cited for vehicle maintenance violations in the past, from brake issues to tires being too deflated. The company has a higher rate when it comes to these types of violations than the national average. Their driver out of service rate is double the national average.
In this particular post-crash inspection, hours of service was not an issue, but the driving problems, the illegal turning, the actual driving infractions were, as were these maintenance issues.
Bryan says this won't be the first or last time an inspection report shows violations like this.
I dream of the day it might be a one-company problem.
He says the problems identified with this trucking company are problems he sees in companies all across the industry. The feds recently announced changes aimed at getting truck drivers off the road who aren't properly licensed.
I think it's a start. I think the bigger problem is lax oversight by the FMCSA and an absolute surge. And this goes back to about 2015. There was an absolute beginning of a surge in the number of new authorized U.S. DOT numbers.
According to the FMCSA's own data,
10 Investigates first told you about the growing number of new entrant carriers in our series, Dangerous Deliveries. Rules put in place 10 years ago to provide more oversight by DOT for new entrant carriers have yet to be implemented.
I think the industry needs to pay attention and perhaps call the FMCSA to the table to explain why we have surged the number of trucking companies by hundreds of thousands. This is not just a few. Hundreds of thousands of what we call new entrant trucking companies that have come in at paces we've never seen since the FMCSA was formed in 2000.
And now we've asked the DOT multiple times for an interview regarding the oversight when it comes to new entrant carriers like the company involved in this crash. They denied our interview request. As for the truck driver involved in this wreck, he is in a St. Lucie County jail facing 3 counts of vehicular homicide. Jennifer Titus, 10 Investigates.